Okay, from the north-south, we're gonna have a lot of opportunities, but I'll just go through 2 quick ones with you. Number one is sort of a low-hanging fruit. It's a triangle. If you've been training for a little while, you probably have seen it, or you saw it during the escapes. It's relatively easy. So when we're on north-south and we have the frames, it's very important that we still have this going on here. I bump up, I make sure that we use that leverage. Same thing, I got my arm in. When we kick the leg over to the side, now we frame, and then I take this frame out of here. I'm gonna go and grab the arm. So we'll rotate around this way so you can see a little bit better. So my arm was in his armpit, and we got the frame in. This shin, it's still in the bicep. But if you can maintain some stickiness with your foot, it's a good idea to maintain this until you're ready to release it. So I have a frame on the hip now. This arm's gonna come out, and this is all gonna happen at the same time. This arm comes out, my leg goes to the neck, and my right knee goes to the shoulder. It's very important. And so what we want to do with the right foot, it's flexed here. When I'm ready to pull that in, I'm going to point my toe. So it slides in. Now the path is up to the shoulder, not straight through. So if we rotate around this way, we'll see that the path of my knee is really important, because that's what's going to set up the success of whether your foot gets out or not. So that the leg's gonna come up to the neck, and the path of the knee is gonna come up to the shoulder. My foot is pointed, and then that's gonna come out, and you're gonna have a lot of work to do now. Because this triangle is not necessarily tight from the beginning, we're gonna have a lot of work to do. Remember, generally triangles have space by the neck, so we're gonna have to do either holding the head or catching the shin, and then re-locking and re-establishing to get rid of that space. So you may have a lot of work to do in that triangle, but it's something that's worthy of looking at as either a front triangle, or you could pummel the arm through and put him into a trap triangle or opposite side triangle situation. So once again, let's look at this and the nature of the progression of how you would set that up with a sticky foot into where you would spin around. So again, we have north-south, and I have this frame all locked in. I bump up, I get my shake, and then we go frame. I like to have the left arm here as my body comes out, holding that arm in place. Otherwise, it'll pull the elbow out. And then we have a lock triangle, but it's not necessarily gonna always be tight. It might be, it's not always gonna necessarily be tight. So we'll either hold our shin, hold his head, or there is a nice little trick that that works here. It's called, you pump the leg in, and it's kind of an oldie but a goodie. If you've never seen this, what you try to do is you try to hold position with shin and head, and then I use a pumping formation to actually make my leg much tighter. And every time you pump, the leg will come forward and it'll get tighter and tighter and tighter. Like again, it's an oldie but a goodie. As long as I'm holding his head down and his head's not moving up, that little leg pump can really lock up your triangle quite well. So something to keep in mind if you lock a relatively loose triangle. It's there, but probably will need to be adjusted.